welcome back to the channel. Today I believe we are going to finish up our color along in Mythographic Dream Garden by Fabiana Attanasio. So far, this is what we've done. We've done, well, some of this I did go ahead and do off camera in preparation for this video today. But so what we had already done was we did the background with some metallic watercolor paint. We did the yellow flowers, the dragonfly, and these blue flowers. Now, after I got done coloring the blue flowers, I felt like they didn't really stand out quite enough. So I went around, let me zoom you in a little bit. I went around the outside edges of them with a white gel pen, just to help them stand out from that blue background just a little bit more. So if you want to, you could do that to yours as well. So now today, what we will be working on is we're going to be working on the crystals. And as you can see here, I've chosen a purple combination for the crystals. And we're also going to be working on the different leaves and stems and the extra elements in the background. The stars and the little circles. The stars, I've been using the same metallic watercolor set, just a different shade. And for the circles, I used, and I will do some of each of these on camera with you. But I used, I must have put it back in my bag. I thought I had it laying here still. But anyway, I used my green and gold dual metallic Davical gel pen for those. So, and then on the little splashes, I used the metallic watercolor palette that I have in a purplish kind of color, if you can see that. And I left a couple on here for us to do together. And so yeah, I will zoom you in and we will get started. Slide this over. Get you centered here. So we are going to start on this crystal right here. And now I have chosen a color combination that includes 3 of the Polychromos pencils and 1 of the Astra Pastelo pencils, because I didn't find a light enough purple in my Polychromos set for the combination that I wanted to get on the crystals. So if you have any set of pastel colored pencils, just choose a light pastel purple to go with these shades of Polychromos. So I have dark indigo, mauve, violet, and then my light purple Astra Pastelo. This is the same shade of purple that I used on the dragonfly wings. So if you picked a pastel shade in another pencil set, you could put that with this combination. But okay, so we're going to start on this crystal. Now what I have done, sorry for moving you around so much, but what I've done down here is I've kind of took guidance from the line work that the artist has given for where to put my dark and light areas. Now I'll show you what I mean. So my darkest color is my dark indigo. So each one of these little sections will be shaded differently. So for instance, this one here, most of the lines that the artist drew in on it is right here. So I'm going to start from this edge. I'm not doing this with super heavy pressure, just maybe medium to light. And then I'm fading it up a little. And then I'm going to go in on top of that with my mauve. Go in over that. Blend those together and fade that up. And then my violet. Go Go over that and fade that up. And now I'm going to take my pastel purple from my Astro Pastelo, and I'm going to go over top of all of that and blend all that together and fade that up towards the end of that little section. Just like that. Do need to sharpen this a little bit more. Okay. So I can really get in there. Okay. Now, back to our dark indigo. We're going to go to our next section. So this section here, I'm going to do along here and up this way for our darkest area. And if you have an image with crystals that doesn't have line work drawn in from that the artist has drawn inside of each section that you can kind of follow, then what I normally do is just alternate. Each section I move to, I start the darkest area in a different spot and do my gradient. Okay, next is violet. These Astro Pastelo pencils blend really nicely with these Polychromos too. They do seem to work really well together. Okay. Dark indigo. And this one we'll start along here and bring that down. And it's a tiny little section, so we won't do very much of that color. Oh, sorry, that one was the mauve. Now we're on violet. And lastly, our pastel purple. Okay, and then for this one, because this edge is dark here, I'm going to start my dark area down here. Just fade that up a little and maybe a little bit along there. Now my mauve, go over that, blend it out. Violet. And lastly, our pastel purple. Okay. And then back to our indigo. And I'm going to do this section here with the indigo. Go over that with the mauve, violet, and then the pastel. Just blend all that together. Okay. So this one has a lot of lines on here, but the majority of them seem to be here. So I'm going to take my dark indigo and go along this edge right here and blend that out. Over that with our mauve. And lastly, our pastel. This itty bitty one here, I'm going to put just a little bit in this corner of the indigo. And the mauve. It's not really that big, but there's the violet and the pastel. Still going to try to fit all those colors in that little spot, even though it was tiny. If you want, you could totally just use a couple of those colors for that little area. Another thing that you can do with crystals when you get them finished, dark indigo. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to pause for just a second. But what was I saying? Oh, another thing that you can do with crystals once you have them colored in is you can use your white gel pen to add highlights, or you can go around the line work. I actually have one laying next to me that I did quite a while ago, just to show you for an example here. Like, I did add some white gel pen on here for highlights, and I went around the edges on there as well. So you can do things like that if you choose to. Not sure if I'm going to add any white gel pen to this or not. Alright, we're going to go along this edge here, and then around this edge and down here on that one with the indigo. Now we're going in with the mauve. Again, just go over it and extend it out. And then violet. Just make sure you try to leave room for your pastel purple. And we'll take this pastel, go over everything, blend it all together. And there we go. All right. And we will go, let's see, that was lighter, so we'll go along this edge with our dark indigo and down. Fade it out. Okay, now our mauve, go over that. And fade that out. Now our violet. And fade that out. Lastly, our pastel purple. And blend it together. And then we have two more sections here. So this one, we're going to go along this section and down. Okay, and then mauve. And then violet. And then pastel purple. everything together. And then we'll go along here. Right in here. Just in that corner. We'll take our mauve and we'll go over that and extend that out. And our violet. And lastly, our pastel purple. Blend everything together and fill that in. And there we go. We got us a nice purple crystal. I'll zoom you out so you can kind of see better how that looks. And we're just going to do all the rest of the crystals the same way as this, and I'll finish those off camera. But yeah, we have some more down here and we have a couple over here. All right, I'll be back in just a minute and we will do some of these leaves and stems. Okay, I'm back and I went ahead and finished all of the crystals off camera for you. And now I'm going to zoom back in and we're going to work on some of these leaves. I've done them in two different ways, as you can see here. The ones that are on the little crystals, I've done with one color combination, and the ones coming from these yellow flowers, I've done in a different color combination. So I will zoom you in, we'll do a couple examples of these, and then I'll finish the rest off camera, and we'll come back and we'll do the last little bit of embellishing. Okay, so let me get you zoomed in. I'm going to focus on these leaves right up here at the top. These are the ones that are coming off the yellow flowers. So for those, we are doing, grab these really fast, and I will show you the colors I used for those. Okay, so the colors I used for those are Walnut Brown, Chromium Green Opaque, Permanent Green Olive, and Earth Green Yellowish. Okay, so we'll take the Walnut Brown, and sorry, my kitten's down here wanting some attention. Just a minute. Hi, hi. Okay, so we're going to take our Walnut Brown, and we're going to start on the stem, and at the base of the stem, put a little bit of this down and fade that up. And then anywhere where the stem that's coming off the leaf meets the main part of the stem, I usually add a little bit more of my darkest color there, and then bring it up onto the one that's attached to the leaf, and again where it meets the leaf. Okay. And then in this curly part, and this is very small here, but we'll do what we can. Anywhere where there's a part of that that's overlapping, that's where we'll put the dark color, and then where it comes out from the underside and at the end. Okay, and again we have another one here. So right here, make sure you can see. See if I can zoom in any more, just a little bit. Right here where it overlaps, here, and at the end. Okay, and then we'll take our Chromium Green Opaque and go over what we just laid down and blend that up. And go over this, extend that out a little. These are small, so it can be a little bit tricky to get your pencil in there. You'll want kind of a sharp point on your pencil to make it a little easier. What, Luna? What? What? Hi. Hi. You gonna come? Oh, you gonna come? Sorry, guys. Send you out here, maybe. Yeah. She decided she is not having it. Let me pause and give her some loving, and then we'll come back. All right, guys. I'm sorry for the interruption. She loves her attention. She has to have attention all the time, which I don't mind at all. She's the sweetest little kitten I've ever had, so, you know. But anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm using the earth green yellowish now. And actually, I need to be filling all this in with this last color. And blending those together. Let me put a little bit better point on this pencil. Okay. All right. So we can get into these little curly bits right here. Which you could, if you didn't want to do these, since it is so tiny with colored pencil, you could do the stem and gel pen or a fine liner, either one, which would probably be easier for you to do. So this is definitely a tiny, tiny little space. Okay. Now I'm going to take my earth green yellowish, which is our lightest color, and on these leaves I'm just going to put a light base coat of this color down. Just really lightly, barely touching the page. Okay. And then we'll take this Walnut Brown. And go along the top here and down this center portion. Just a little. Again, right here, along the top edge, just a tiny little bit. And then we're gonna go along this line that goes down the leaf and add some of this around this line. And we're gonna do that for all the little veins on the leaf. And then I'm going to add more of this right in this area here. And just leave a very feathered edge So our next color can go right on top of that. And then we'll do this leaf pretty much in the same way along the top here, along that center vein, and the other veins right on the underside of those. Okay, and then we'll extend it right here a little bit. Okay, now we're going to take our chromium green opaque and go over that and extend that out as best we can while leaving room for our other shades. Okay. And our next one. Go over it and extend it just a little. Okay. And now our no, not our final color, our next to last, sorry, permanent green olive. We'll go over that again, just making sure that you're leaving room for our final color. Okay. We just want to blend these together and kind of blend and layer at the same time, and then extend it out a little. The walnut brown kind of helps deepen that green color just a little. Okay, and then I'm also going to take this permanent green olive and go along the edge just a little with light pressure all the way around the leaf. Okay. Now, lastly, our earth green yellowish. There you go. And we'll go over everything really very lightly, very, very lightly. Blend those colors together. And the area that's the lightest on the leaf, we definitely want to go over that really lightly because we don't want to darken that up too much, so that we have our highlight on the leaf, but still adding a little bit more color to that at the same time. So when I get to those areas, I lighten up my pressure. When I'm going over the other colors, I increase my pressure a little bit. Just kind of like that. Okay, we got one more over here to go. And then I will do the rest of these off camera. Very lightly again. Alright, there's that part. I'll zoom back out so you can kind of see. Okay, and now we will do the leaves around the crystals. And for those, I have a different color combination for you. Let me zoom back in. Adjust my camera just a little. Apologize for the shakiness. There we go. All right, so for this one, we are using, get these all turned around the right direction. We are using Chrome Oxide Green Fiery, Emerald Green, Light Phthalo Green, Grass Green, and Light Green. Okay, so with the Chrome Oxide Green Fiery, I am just going to, let me sharpen this real quick. Sorry. Okay. Luna. Okay, I'm going to add some of this in on all the little veins. Just like so. And then anywhere where a leaf overlaps another leaf, I'm going to add some of that. Okay. What? Need more attention. Put some of this right in here and go down the stem on one side. Let me see. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. And then down here, we'll put a little on this side and a little on this side. It's okay. What? You can sit with me. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. See? There you go. Okay, and a little right in here. And right in here, because those leaves are overlapping along the veins. I know. Come here. Okay, there you go. Right in here. No, we're not gonna get on the desk again, okay? And sit in Mommy's lap. All right, so our next color that we're gonna use is Emerald Green. It's okay, hold on, here you go. And we're just gonna go over that area that we put the other color very softly. I know, it's okay. I'll be done soon. Okay. Well, come here. Don't know where you want to be, do you? I know. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, and blend that out a little. It's okay. Next is the light phthalo green. There you go. You comfy now? Uh-oh. No, come back. Come back. Sit on my lap. You're okay. Yeah, there you go. Good girl. Okay. And then go over everything that we put down already. Just add to it just a little. It's okay. Next is our grass green. Do the same thing. Just go over that. Just try to leave a little bit of space for our last color there. All right. Then finally, we will take our light green and blend everything together. It's okay. I got you. Blend all that together. Okay. All right. Just about got it. Okay, now that is how we'll do all the leaves and stems that are connected to the crystals. Zooming back out for a minute. Okay, now there's one other type of leaf on the page, and that is, I apologize, that is these here that are connected to these blue flowers. So for those, let's zoom you right back in. For those, I'm just going to use a few of the colors that we used for from the last combination. Let's see. Phthalo. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna use the light phthalo green, the grass green, and the light green on those. And so for the stem, on these, it's so tiny. I'm just gonna take this light phthalo green, which is our darkest of the 3 shades, and we're going to just straight color that little bitty piece of stem there. Okay, and then I'm gonna go along the vein again. So it'll be kind of like the others, but a little different. So this leaf here is turned over. So right here where it starts to turn, I'm gonna put a little bit of this darkest color right there. Then here, we'll put a little bit here and a little here and blend that up. Okay, and then we're gonna take our grass green and we're gonna go over that. and blend that out. And leave room for one more color on there. Okay, and that will be our light green. Alright, we'll go over that. Blend everything in together. And fill those in. Alrighty, so I'm going to pause and I'm going to get all the rest of these leaves done, and then I will come back, and the only thing we'll have left will be the little small embellishments. I will be back shortly. Thank you. Okay, so I have now finished all of the leaves and stems off camera. So now all we have are our little embellishment parts, which are the stars and the circles and these little swooshy-like things. And then this little item here that we did not cover with our Posca. So, zoom you back in. This here I'm going to do in the same purples that I did the gems, except I'm going to leave out the indigo. I'm not going to use this dark indigo. I'm just going to use the purple shades, the mauve, the violet, and then the pastel purple pencil that we used before. And I'm going to have to sharpen these because this is very tinky tiny. And I think I have figured out that this is a little dress, is what this is. Now, I'm not going to go to great detail on this because it is so tiny. But if you can see here, the little belt part and this little V-like shape up here, I'm going to try to do that with silver gel pen. But the rest of this, I'm just going to take this mauve, go around the outside, and down here where it meets the belt, along these sides, and then a little bit of this mauve along each one of these little pleats. And then my violet, go over that, extend it out, bring it down a little, and then the pastel pencil to finish it off. But that way it kind of hopefully will fade in, since it is pretty much the same colors as the crystals. Hopefully it will kind of disappear, not be so noticeable. So I just had there it is. I knew I just had it. I just had my silver gel pen. So I'm going to put some of this in this belt and along this little V shape at the top here. So there's that. All right, now other than that, we have our circles and our stars and our little swooshy bits. Very technical term there, swooshy bits. Anyway, so we'll come back up here to the top where I've left some to be filled in. So this is the green Divical Dual Metallic gel pen. It has little gold glitter in this one. So that is what I'm using for the circles. I'm just going to fill all those in. See where else I have left some. Sorry for all the movement. Okay. Right here we have one on this crystal. And then there's a couple more on there. Okay, and we have some more down here on the leaf. Okay, Just filling these in rather quickly. Let's see. Oh, missed one up here on this leaf. I will probably miss some that I won't even notice until we're off camera. Just trying to check real quick. I think that's all of them. Again, I'm probably missing some. And right, let's see, where am I? Right here we have what looks like a little hat pin type of thing. I'm just gonna do the same thing since it's a circle. We're gonna go over this with this metallic gel pen in the green. And then coming away from that, we're just gonna keep it simple. Coming away from that, we'll fill that little bit in there of the pen in the silver glitter gel pen, or silver. This is from the DeVickle set of gel pens as well. It's just the silver one. Okay, and for the rest of it, now I'm going to go back to the metallic watercolor palette that I have, which is just a Hobby Lobby brand metallic watercolor paint. And for the stars, I'm using this gold right here. And then for the little swooshy bits, I'm using this purple color right here. So I'm going to set these off to the side, and I'm going to drop a little water on them and get them ready to go. And then we will get started painting the last little bit. I might be out of water in my brush. No, but getting glare. Getting there, getting there. All right. So we got some water sitting on our paint there. Okay. Which will hopefully give our gel pen circles time to dry. But I am going to zoom you back in. Okay, so I have our paint all ready to go, and I have you zoomed in, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Just taking this gold color and gonna try to fill in these stars the best I can without getting paint everywhere. So I'm not the most steady handed, but I am working on it. I really love these metallic watercolor paints. They are really nice to work with. I've really enjoyed doing this page. Okay, so we have those three done. Let's slide this up a little and do this one that we missed. Oops. If I don't make a mess, hopefully. I think I did a little bit. That's okay. And then all we have left appears to be in this corner right up here. And we'll do these real quick. More paint. Okay. And here. And I'm sorry that was off camera, off screen. Okay, and I think that is all the stars. Okay, now we'll do the little swooshy bits. Let me find paper towel and clean my brush. Or not. I need to go refill it, to be honest. Okay. Alright, so that's all the gold. Now we will use the purple. And we'll do these little swooshes. Okay, we've only got 2 of those left, I believe. Try not to put my hand in any of this gold paint that we just laid down. Okay, there's that one. And we'll do this one right here. There we go. Okay, I think that covers it, y'all. I think we've got it done. And I don't know, what do you all think? Tell me in the comments below what you all think of the finished results, and let me know if you followed along with me or not, and if you have any ideas of another color along that you would like to see next, please leave that down in the comments for me as well. Alright guys, if you like this video or videos like these, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Excuse me. And leave me a comment. And I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, take care, stay safe, and happy coloring. Bye guys.